everybody. It's Jenny J 1911. Long time no see. Happy New Year, belated Merry Christmas to everybody. Obviously, the holidays were upon us, and we were visiting family here, there, and everywhere. You just get busy, and I knew you guys would be busy too, so I just thought we're just gonna lay low for the holidays, but we're back. Woo! So we're gonna get rolling. I thought, you know what? Let's just have a Friday night date night tonight. We haven't had one of those in forever. And so then, my husband and I were talking right before I went live, and we were talking about, we're going to get back in the swing on our Tuesday nights too. So make sure you're here on Tuesday. Cowboy Jeff is here sitting in the front row. So congratulations to Cowboy Jeff for being the A+ student. Jer Bear Tactical is here. Great to see you. Long time no see. So it is Kenneth Edgington. Well, hello. How are you? Kenneth was actually a former student of mine, so great to see you. Wiley Thompson is here. So let's get started. First things first, we were out at Gateway last night, and we were talking with them, and I don't know if any of you have a guess. What gun do you think we talked about last night? Predominantly, and looked at lots of pictures of this gun. Does anybody have a guess which gun it is that we would have been talking about? I'll give you 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you guessed the Dan Wesson DWX, you would be correct. So I don't know if any of you guys have seen one of those yet. It is the sweet baby child of the Dan Wesson and the CZ. It is so cool looking. And I would say I've never met a CZ I didn't like, but I actually did just shoot a CZ last night that I didn't really care for. And I'll talk about that a little bit later. But anyway, I know I can't believe I even uttered those words, but I think it was a fluke. But a Dan Wesson and a CZ melded together, it's got to be a beautiful, beautiful thing. So I am hoping that the gun gods rain one of these DWXs down on me from somewhere on high. And I would love to shoot one of those. Wouldn't you guys love to see a review of that? I mean, seriously, how cool would that be to see me shoot it and tell you what I think about it? And so, I don't know, maybe I need to call Dan Wesson and just be like, hey, the J Crew wants to see it. And what the J Crew wants, the J Crew should get, right? So, Vanessa Kitty, great to see you. I'm so glad to see you here. Affordable Armory is here. Affordable Armory was daydreaming. I don't know about that. Daydreaming at 9:00 at night, Affordable Armory. And Reese is here. I can't miss Reese. He got kind of lost up in the comments up there. And he says, once again, notification on, but no notification. I'm not surprised, sadly. So, but anyway, back to this DWX. So it is chambered in 9mm. They're saying the MSRP on the Dan Wesson website is $20.99. Unfortunately, I don't mean $20.99. I would be buying 5 if that was the case. So, yeah. Cowboy Jeff says, yes, Jim should get one. Jim already says Jim should get one. So I'm sure he's very grateful for you backing him up on that, Cowboy Jeff. And actually, I'm betting he was probably I heard him scribbling a note. Was that it? Yep, I just got a thumbs up. See, we're all simpatico here. So, didn't you all miss this? I mean, I miss this. I missed you guys. It's so nice to be back here with you guys again. GGW Outdoors. Hey, long time no see. Good to see you too. Reese says it would be cooler if he was shooting it. Well, Reese, I suppose that's a matter of opinion. So anyway, it says that it has a locked breech barrel system. It got rid of the standard 1911 link system, and it has the CZ style takedown with the slide stop. So it sounds like it's a pretty user-friendly gun. It does have the red, it looks like a CZ. I mean, it's got the red aluminum grips on it, and it looks like it is, part of the CZ lineup. So, oh, and also I love the K style trigger. We had recently shot a gun that had one of those, and this one has that K style trigger. And not only is it a K style trigger, it's a red K style trigger. So it looks super, super cool. I see Mr. Bunning is here. Hello, Viejo. So yeah, so that's pretty cool. And I'd like to hear from you guys if any of you have gotten to shoot it or had your hands on one yet. So that probably made me a little jealous. I don't know. Maybe I don't want to know. So speaking of guns, I have, I think, kind of an interesting story. So I have not gotten to talk to you guys since Christmas. So we went to Ohio to see my parents, and they live out on the farm where I grew up. And I've told you all before how it's right next door to the Conservation League, where they shoot trap and skeet out over a lake all day long. And so that was the sound that I grew up hearing as a child, and just, shotguns all day. And they would shoot well into the night with, the bright yard lights on. So anyway, on my parents' farm, it's got natural gullies. And when we go out there and shoot, it's a natural backstop. So, Mr. Jenny J 1911 and my dad and I decided to go out and shoot some 22s. And so we took some spray paint cans, and I got to shoot the first, got to take the first shot. And so since blue is my favorite color and it was Jenny J blue, I shot the blue spray paint can. I wish that we would have taken a video of it, but we didn't. We were just out there just horsing around having fun. So shot this blue can, and it still has spray paint in it, and it just went with blue spray paint everywhere. It was so cool. So anyway, we shot several different 22 rifles, and then my dad pulled out his revolver that he had gotten at a gun show 2 years ago. Okay, 2 years ago, this man bought this gun. He has never gotten to shoot it, and he bought it for his carry gun. So think about it. 2 years ago, poor guy buys this gun as his carry gun, has never gotten to shoot it. So he's all excited because he's out there. He gets to shoot this gun for the first time with his daughter and his son-in-law. So he grabs his box of ammo out and loads it in, and it's a Smith & Wesson, okay? It was an original series Smith & Wesson revolver. I forget which model it is, but anyway, it's an older gun. It's beautiful. It's in beautiful condition. Pulls out his box of ammo, starts loading it in, and the side of the barrel is printed on it. It says 38 Smith & Wesson. So he starts loading his 38 special ammo in. And now, for some of you who have been listening to the details, you might catch what I just said. Okay. loads the ammo in, the chamber won't turn, or the cylinder won't turn. So Jim takes it and he looks at it and he's like, I don't know what's going on with this. And the rounds were actually stuck in the cylinder, and my husband had to push those rounds back out, like forcibly push them back out because they were so stuck, so tight. So we're looking at these, and I don't know, they look kind of suspicious anyway. They were reloads that my dad had bought at the same gun show where he bought his gun. Well, in doing a little research, we realized that that gun only accepts 38 Smith & Wesson ammo, not 38 special ammo. So the 38 Smith & Wesson ammo is called the 38 Slow and Weak. S&W, Smith & Wesson, Slow and Weak. So it is actually, the case looks a lot more like a 9mm case. So here's my poor dad, so excited, still cannot shoot his gun, and has no ammo for this thing. So, and he doesn't have a 38 special to be able to shoot the ammo that he did have. So he gave us the box of ammo and he said, it's yours, take it home, use it, empty it, whatever, reuse the brass, which of course, we're like, hey, yeah, we'll take the brass if nothing else. So we now have an order in for 38 Smith & Wesson dies so that we can reload some 38 Smith & Wesson rounds for him. I just, we didn't think about it. We didn't think about it. The guy that he bought the gun from didn't say anything. The guy that he bought the ammo from didn't say anything. And I will say, I was there with my dad when he bought that gun and the ammo. And he showed the gun to the guy that he bought the ammo from, said, is this ammo going to work with this gun? And the guy said, yes. So, I think that it's just, it's one of those forgotten calibers, and not many people have it or shoot it anymore. So my poor dad, poor Jenny J 1911 senior. I just felt so terrible for him. And that revolver is beautiful. And honestly, I was like, ooh, I'm going to do a review on this revolver. Like, I was so excited to shoot it. And I was thinking, yeah, we're going to do a video on this revolver. Now, I will say one of the other guns that I got to shoot was my grandpa, who is since deceased, but my grandpa had a little 22 rifle, and it was just, a single shot. And so that was the first gun I got to shoot that day. And it was just really cool because, when my grandpa was alive, I wasn't shooting guns. And my dad said that little 22 rifle was kind of one of his little pride and joys. Every older 22 rifle, it is always fun to shoot. Those things are so reliable and so great to, just go out and plink around with. So, and it's an older one. We actually looked it up online, and I don't remember now exactly what kind of rifle it was, but I know when we looked it up, we figured out it was made in about 1938 or 9, and it would have cost $3 back then when it was purchased. So, just kind of a cool, I love those little 22 rifles. You've seen me do some videos on those. And, Reese says, never buy someone else's reloads. I should specify, he was somebody with a loading business. So, there's that little gray area, I guess, but it was actually a guy that had a reloading business. And, you know, it just was what it was. So we got to shoot paint cans, and oh my gosh, it was just so much fun. We had spray paint everywhere. It seriously looked like a rainbow factory barfed all over the field, because it just was like it was colors everywhere. Some people do color runs. I think doing color shoots is way more fun, because it was just really, really beautiful. It was the perfect Christmas decoration for the field. So I'm going to get to some comments here, because I know I'm behind. Let's see. Cowboy Jeff had guessed Volt. No. Let's see. Yeah. Reese says, I'm glad Jenny has former students, the rivals. I have my current students, which is you guys, J Crew. Let's see. Scroll through these here. Short and weak. Yeah, exactly. Affordable ammo. Affordable armory. I'm thinking about ammo. Ammo on my mind. Sounds like a song, doesn't it? Papa J 1911. I think he would like that, actually. I think that would be a really great nickname for him. Was it a break breach, JJ? Oh, a bolt action. Yes, it was. GGW Outdoor says, I have a Win 67 that you can barely see the rifling, but it is a tack driver. Yeah, isn't that crazy? I mean, they don't make guns the way they used to. Am I right? Critter's here. I'm here just working on reloading site. Oh, so nice to see you, Critter. Eno de la Cruz. Hey, ma'am, you're watching from the Philippines. Oh, hey. So you must be one of my coworkers' siblings. So welcome to the show. That's pretty cool. Reese says, I want a Canic Rival S. Oh, there we go. Okay, now I understand what you're saying. Former students, Canic Rival S. I got it. Okay. I'm with you now. All right. So I have a couple of news stories. You know how I am about my news stories. I love to read about gun stories in the news. All right. So I'm going to pull some of these up here. The first one I'm going to pull up is, I have to find which. I have so many tabs open on my computer, unfortunately. It's just kind of how I roll. Where did it go? Okay. So a story for you all, if anybody ever practices shooting in their house. Okay. And when I say practice shooting in your house, we all know we're not actually shooting in our house, right? But we're dry firing, or we're using like dummy rounds, right? This is why you should make sure to always check your magazine, check your chamber, make sure you don't have anything chambered. Okay, show clear, because a man in Shakopee, I think that's Minnesota. So I know I've got Minnesotans in our midst on this live. If any of my Minnesotans want to verify that, I think Shakopee is Minnesota. Anyway, a man is facing charges after he shot into his neighbor's home while practicing with his new gun. I won't say his name because I don't want to embarrass him. But anyway, he's 60 years old and he was charged with one count of reckless discharge of a firearm within a municipality, which carries a maximum sentence of 2 years in jail and or a $5,000 fine. According to charging documents, officers with the Shakopee Police Department were dispatched to Milwaukee Road on the afternoon of November 2nd to investigate a report of accidental discharge of a firearm. So they talked to this guy, and apparently he told the officers, yeah, a bullet went through my window, and it might have gone into my neighbor's house because I accidentally shot my gun. He said that he thought his firearm was not loaded, and he was practicing aiming in his bedroom. He pulled the trigger, but there was a round in the chamber. It went through his window and went into the neighboring townhome. So he's the one that actually called the police on himself. He called and said, I'm worried somebody may have been hurt. And there you have it. So always make sure you're clear. And if you're going to be doing that, make sure you have a dummy round. We use snap caps. Like when we're teaching our firearms classes, we use snap caps. Those are great. I think they're a great thing to have because, and we always explain to our students how important they are. So there's that. Brian's Custom Canvas says, I heard about that. Oops. Shakopee. Shakopee. Emmy says that's how they say it. Shakopee. Okay, that's good to know. Affordable Armory is asking, is that a tumbler I hear in the background? It is not. It is the furnace. Because it's cold. It's cold. And, Jenny J, I look all put together, but here I am wrapped up in my blanket. So, yeah. No, it's just the furnace. Nothing too exciting. It's definitely not a tumbler while we're having our live. Okay. So I thought that news story was kind of entertaining, sadly. And then I also have another one. This one is also very funny. This one actually made me chuckle even more. So while I'm waiting for this to pull up, I will tell you all, Sunday is the 1-year anniversary of Mr. Jenny J 1911 and me. So we got married 1 year ago this Sunday, January 8th. So we have very romantic plans Sunday morning. We will be filming. We will be filming videos for you guys. So look for those to be coming out in the next week. And, what's more exciting and fun and romantic than shooting videos, right? We do have a very nice dinner planned for Sunday evening at a very nice restaurant in St. Louis. So we're excited for that. I will be having steak because, I love steak, medium rare. All right. So here's our next story. This one is all about weird items found by airport security in 2022. Okay, I won't go through the entire list, but you would not believe how people try to transport their guns through airport security. This just cracks me up. Okay, so, all right. First of all, there was a grenade. I know that's not exactly a gun, but there was a grenade in a carry-on at the General Mitchell International Airport in Wisconsin that a passenger tried to get through airport security. The grenade was inert, and the passenger said he'd purchased it at an air show. So, I guess apparently inert grenades you can't take on an airplane in checked luggage. So who knew? A handgun in a PlayStation. And Atlanta airport in December, there was an agent that found a gun stashed inside a PlayStation. The agent said she noticed the console looked odd when she took an x-ray image. So, yeah, I can imagine that would look a little odd. Someone tried to transport a double-bladed knife concealed inside the inner workings of his laptop. Another one was a man had an arm sling on, and he had his gun concealed inside his arm sling. And agents discovered that at the Greater Rochester International Airport. The man claimed he'd forgotten he had his gun with him and was detained by local law enforcement. How do you forget you have your gun inside your arm sling? I don't know. I mean, that doesn't really sound very comfortable to me, but okay. This one is great. A firearm in a jar of peanut butter. A man was arrested in December after agents found a disassembled gun concealed in 2 jars of peanut butter at JFK Airport. So he took the gun apart, plunged the pieces down inside 2 different jars of peanut butter, and put the lids on. I kind of think that wasn't accidental. Call me crazy. I think that was not accidental. This one is great. A gun stuffed in a raw chicken. Who tries to take a raw chicken anyway through airport security? That's what I want to know. A handgun was discovered stuffed inside a raw chicken at Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport. I mean, what? How? Who says, where can I hide my gun to get it through security? I know. A raw chicken. What a great idea. That'll work. Crazy. People are crazy. Critter, why'd you do that? I'm kidding. Michael Deach is here. Michael Deach is an old friend of mine. He's saying, sing us a song, LOL, because he knows that I'm a singer. So it's great to see you, Michael. He's actually a fireman, and he is an Air Force veteran. So thank you to him for his service. So it's great, man. We're seeing all kinds of cool people on here tonight. This is so great. Brian's Custom Canvas says that's Kung Pao chicken. Oh my gosh, Brian's Custom Canvas. Now, that is why I had Brian on as a guest one time, because, that wit. Reese says, wait, you and Mr. Jenny J had only been married for 5 months when I met you, and he was toting a camera around for you. It must be love. Huh. I guess it had been only 5 months, because that was May. Oh, great. Now it's going to go to his head. He's going to expect a pat on the back for that, Reese. And come on, man. No, he knows how I appreciate him lugging that stuff around. And I will say we did go buy a much smaller, lighter tripod, so that, because that other tripod we had was a little heavier. And so now we have a lighter tripod. So, we decreased his carry weight by, I don't know, maybe 5 pounds. So it went from about 40 pounds to 35. I know. I'm so nice. All right. So you all know how I feel about guns at school. When I say guns at school, I mean specifically staff members having guns at school, right? So in Texas, I guess maybe somewhere near Dallas. I'm not sure. Maybe Critter can confirm. There is a high school called Wiley High School. And apparently, a Wiley High School staff member who was not a teacher, I should note, had their firearms seized after the gun fell out of her purse onto the floor of the school. Apparently, she had forgotten it was in her purse, she said, and it got taken into the school and it fell out of her purse and onto the floor. So, anyway, the whole point of me telling you this story is because the principal, Brian Alexander, said, "We do not believe that the employee intended to cause harm." But he did also say then that he was reminding families that state and federal law, along with the district policy, ban firearms at the school, and that students, staff, and visitors are not allowed to have weapons of any kind. So you all know where I'm going with this. Why? Why are they? I guess this is where we have to say maybe some people should be allowed to carry as long as they have been trained and educated on how to carry in a school, right? So, I mean, obviously, this person had a gun. I don't know. Maybe she's a very responsible gun owner, other than forgetting it was in her purse. But, you know, I think that is the way things are going to have to be in the future. I think we need to consider being able to allow some staff members to be able to carry at their school. So I just thought that was interesting because I don't know if I buy the forgetting it was in her purse thing, but there it is. All right. And one more story. So parents call out U.S. gun laws as boy 6 in custody because he shot his teacher. So there's this little boy in Virginia, Newport News, Virginia. Okay. He is 6. So probably first grade, I would say. He took a gun to school, got in an argument with his teacher and shot her. And she now has life-threatening condition. So, or like life-threatening injuries. So, you know, of course, people are up in arms because they're like, well, how did this boy get a hold of a gun in the first place? And one person is that they interviewed for this article that I read. It says an unnamed parent, a woman with a British accent, blamed the shooting on relaxed U.S. gun laws in an interview outside of the school. She said, guns, that's the biggest problem in this country. The statistics in the UK for crime is 0 for guns. Why is it so bad in the US? Why is there a 7-year-old boy with a bloody gun? Come on, think about it. Let's do something. We've got a new governor now. Let's change the laws. She went on to say, you've got a beautiful country. You've got beautiful people. But what's the problem? Guns. She says her husband is in the military. Otherwise, she would not have chosen to come to this country. So I feel like she's missing the point. I mean, okay, this 7-year-old boy or 6-year-old boy got a hold of this gun, and we don't know how. We don't know, but it happened, right? And these kinds of things happen. But having gun control, would that necessarily have stopped that? Okay, we don't know the circumstance of this boy's home. This boy might have parents, and this is hypothetical, but this boy might live in a home where parents are acquiring guns illegally or something. So we don't know. We can't blame the responsible gun owners for things like this happening. And it's just very disconcerting that it's this kind of noise that ruins it for the rest of us. We have worked so hard to be educated and to educate others about firearm safety. And, it's this kind of incidents or these kind of people that make the noise about it that make the rest of us, they put the blame on all of us for something like this happening. And then it's going to ruin it for everybody. Every day people are screaming and crying about not having strict enough gun laws. But that's not the problem, right? The problem is not the problem is not being restricted enough. It's something else. There are lots of other issues that are causing the gun problems. Okay. So I don't know. It's just very, very unsettling to think we're going to pay the price for that. And so, like Viejo says, the problem is not the guns. Exactly. Critter says UK woman needs her butt kicked in. GGW Outdoors says, no, it's not the gun's fault. So, yeah. Cowboy Jeff says a 6-year-old. Yep. Blame everything and everyone else. Exactly. I'm sorry, but yeah, exactly. A 6-year-old. It happens. And, should the parents have had their guns locked up? Absolutely. Should the parents have educated their child and said, hey, we have these things. And this is what I'm always saying. This is why, I've had 6-year-old students that I've taught firearms safety to. I have been on the range with my arm around a 6-year-old boy, teaching him how to safely handle his firearm. It's because kids don't know how to respect a firearm. They're not educated about it, that things like this happen. When it's a mystery, that's when things happen. When there's the unknown, that's when accidents happen. And what's to even say that this 6-year-old boy got the gun from his parents or his own house? He might have been at a friend's house, and whatever the case is, and we don't know, we probably never will know, but it's all about educating. If that 6-year-old boy had been educated and understood, this is a very dangerous item. Here's what can happen. This is why you shouldn't touch it. This may not have happened to this teacher. So I don't know. And also, so this 6-year-old boy pulls a gun out in the classroom. What's the teacher's recourse when that happens? What can she do to defend herself? So I'll leave it at that. So, all right, I'm going to get back up to my comments up here. Reese said, why do the people in the UK stab each other? Because they don't have guns. Very true. Critter says her husband is in the military. Assign him to a unit in Texas. Let her freak out about that. Oh, yeah. She'd get along in Texas really well, wouldn't she? Brian's Custom Canvas. You ever see in the news a 4-year-old drove the parents' car across town to get pulled over by local PD? He could have done damage, but the PD said, surprisingly, they drove pretty well, for a 4-year-old that can't reach the pedals and see over the steering wheel. Maybe he was a super tall 4-year-old. Reese says, why is that first grader so maladjusted? Yeah, that's that's another thing. Let's think about, okay, when I was in school, if a student ever argued with a teacher that much, and I'm sure that there was, probably quite a vocal or a verbal altercation before this shooting happened, that student 40 years ago never would have been allowed to even talk to the teacher that way. Students, and now you're going to get me on a soapbox, so many students, not all, but so many students have no respect for authority, for educators, for their parents, for any other adults in their lives. And that is a problem. That is a real, real problem. Let's see. So Viejo says a 6-year-old should not be reared in an environment that resulted in his believing that shooting someone over trivia is okay. Yes, exactly. Yeah. Why did he think that shooting somebody was going to be the answer to him being upset about something? Cowboy Jeff said, I think it was a pygmy kid and he wasn't 6. He was actually 36. Oh boy. Yeah. I'll let you all. I'm not gonna read all the comments out loud, but I'm sure some of you will be able to read all those for yourselves. Critter, if I got in trouble at school, I never had to worry about the teacher. My father was my biggest worry. Exactly. But now the parents are like, oh, my poor baby got in trouble. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm going to go yell at your teacher now. And I know that is the honest to goodness truth. Cowboy Jeff says we should bring nuns back to the schools. Well, there are still nuns in some schools, Cowboy Jeff. Politically Insensitive says education is a better deterrent than a lock or safe. I save money. Others, I would assume, have had firearms since my oldest, now 20, was 6. They've known about them and they knew they weren't toys. Exactly. Going back to my story about being at home for Christmas or right before Christmas with my parents, growing up, my sister and I knew the front coat closet. That's where, we had a couple shotguns and rifles. And when mom and dad needed to go out and shoot a critter, they'd go over to the closet and grab one. When we got home from school at the end of the day, we'd go over to the closet, hang our coat up in the closet. Or every once in a while, I'll admit I was super lazy and I'd open the closet door and just toss my coat in and it would land on the floor. And I'd slam the door shut and, I just didn't feel like hanging my coat up. I remember doing that very vividly, but anyway, I digress. We just knew those guns were there and we knew that they weren't for playing with. You just knew. So, now it's a completely different world. Viejo says disciplinary timeouts need to be replaced with knockouts. Now, don't get Mr. Bunning started. And you have to remember, okay, so Viejo was a teacher also. So he also is speaking from experience here. Reese says, I'm right there with you, Jenny. Thank you, Reese. I appreciate you backing me up on that. Michael Deach. Yes, great point. He could have taken a steak knife from the kitchen drawer. It was not a weapon problem. Yes. That's absolutely true. He could have, no matter what, if he was mad and he thought, I'm going to retaliate against my teacher, he could have gone into the kitchen and grabbed a steak knife. Absolutely. Or, dad's pocket knife off his nightstand or whatever. I mean, could have been anything. Politically insensitive says you learn what you live. If the kids were that irresponsible or they thought it was a reasonable way to handle a situation, they've learned it from their parents. Yep, that is completely true. GGW Outdoors. I remember the dreaded call from school. You know what? Not to brag, but my parents didn't get calls about me. Maybe about my little sister, but not about me. No, my sister was good too. I mean, we were both good kids. We just knew, like, I don't know, what was the point of being bad, you know? I got to do fun things if I was good, so I was going to be good. I got to go to ballet class and voice lessons and show choir and, you know, do fun stuff. Fun for me anyway. My husband is not agreeing. He doesn't think that stuff's fun. He likes football. I didn't play football. Let's see. Reese says Jenny J no longer has to worry about the failing public education system. I don't. Nope. I mean, and you know, my daughter, she's only got 2.5 years of school left, and then she's off to do her thing. My oldest one's already in college, so yeah, 2.5 years. I never have to even step foot in a public school again. So yeah. And I do not miss at all. I do not miss anything about teaching. I I actually put in for a week of paid time off in February a couple of days ago at my job. I put in for a week off. And I realized a few hours later that I put in for a week off and I do not have to make a week's worth of lesson plans for a substitute teacher. I was like, so when my time off comes up, I just don't go into work that day. I couldn't believe it. I was like, that's such a novel idea. I don't have to make lesson plans. I don't have to do any of that stuff. So that was pretty exciting. So yeah, in February, we're going to be going somewhere very exciting. We're going to be going ice climbing. So if you all want to see a video of Jenny J 1911 ice climbing, that will be forthcoming. That'll come up in February. So we'll do some of that. I don't know. I was actually thinking even about doing a live, like, I don't know. I'm so excited. It's been almost a year since we went ice climbing last, and it is so much fun. It's so much fun. It's such a great time. So we're going to be doing that, and really, really excited. That's going to be in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, right on the lake. So we're going to be going up ice climbing frozen waterfalls just off Lake Superior. So stoked for that. Gonna be a little departure from the shooting stuff. And last year we went ice climbing right before we started this channel. Actually, my 1-year anniversary for my first video posted will be February 11th. So I was thinking I was going to have some kind of 1-year Jenny J birthday party or something with you guys. Maybe, you know, some kind of contest or something. So I thought that would be kind of cool. So that's coming up. Exciting. All right. Yeah, Viejo says, you said it, JJ. Lesson plans for subs were painful. Yes. And especially if you had to try to come up with a week's worth because you don't know how fast they're going to get through stuff day to day, and coming up with a week's worth of lesson plans. Yeah, a week's worth of lesson plans was such a nightmare. Cowboy Jeff says, I'm a government worker. I can tell you all about not working. What are you saying, Cowboy Jeff? Viejo says, my best sub for my science classes was my karate sensei. No one gave him any crap at all, and he knew the science. That's pretty cool. I thought you said doing a live. Oh, Affordable Armory. I like your little emoji there. Yes, Cowboy Jeff, you have ice in Minnesota. In fact, you have the Winona Ice Climbing Park there in Minnesota that I would love to come climbing at sometime. So I don't know how far away that is from where you're at, but yeah, maybe sometime you'll have to go ice climbing, and Mr. Jenny J will come up. We'll all go ice climbing together. It'd be so much fun. So get your ropes and your ice boots and your ice axes ready, and we'll head out to the ice. Dale Pogue is here, by the way. I didn't say hello to you yet. Barry Ford refused to do another teacher's LP. Come to the gym and get tough, or find another sub. Yeah. Cowboy Jeff said, I just took 17 days off and then added more. 17 days all in a row, Cowboy Jeff. Wowee. Viejo says he's got to go. Peeps, happy New Year, everyone. Happy New Year to you, Mr. Bunning. It was great to see you, and I'm glad you're back. Glad you're back doing all of your stuff, and you're hopefully completely recovered and healed, and it's just good to see you again. So yeah, so we are going to be shooting a video for on Sunday. One of the guns we're going to be doing, I wanted to tell you guys, is the Excalibur. Now, I don't know if any of you have ever shot the Excalibur before. It is, looking at the gun, I didn't think it would be very exciting to shoot, but it is a gun. I did actually get to preview shoot it last night. It is my friend Dennis's gun, and he, of course, we walk into the range, and the first thing he says is, hey, I've got a gun for you to shoot. And he says, here's the gun, here's some ammo, and off we went. So we went out and shot it, and it was a really surprisingly great gun. So, but that's all I'm going to tell you about it. It's got a few things that I'll go into details that make it a little bit different and make it stand out a little more. So we're going to be doing that one, and we're also going to be doing our 38 wad cutter video. So hopefully those will both be coming out this next week. We'll finally get to finish those up and get to shoot. Part of our problem was the range has been closed a lot for the last couple of holidays. So we haven't had the chance to be able to go out and shoot, because Gateway is wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. They let us come out, and we actually get to shoot before hours out there. So we can set all of our cameras and our lights up, and, we're able to actually get in front of the firing line when it's cold range and get all that stuff set up so that we can record. And we do all that without other people in the range. So it's kind of nice that Gateway lets us do that. They're wonderful hosts to us, and they've had holiday hours, so we haven't had a chance to be able to go out there and do that. And we're so excited to be able to get back out there and start doing some recording. I have missed bringing videos to you guys. And so it's been kind of sad because, it's winter time and I want you guys to be able to have some fresh Jenny J videos to watch. So, I did have a comment the other day from one of the, I don't know, a viewer. I don't think it's a subscriber. Definitely not somebody that's part of the J crew, because he accused me of slamming the one of the 2011s, and I wasn't even really sure which one he was talking about, slamming the 2011 slide. And I was like, no, I don't think I did that. So I don't know. I was kind of like, but you're always going to have people like that, right? And we've watched plenty of other YouTube channels, and that's kind of the one thing that when you get into this business, I suppose, you always have those people who are willing to criticize you and tell you exactly what you're doing wrong, or even say you did something that you didn't do. So, yeah. Reese says, your friend Dennis has a lot of guns. Lucky you. I'm telling you, Reese, my friend Dennis, my friend Les, the two of them, they're so wonderful about letting us borrow from their amazing collections. And we're so lucky. We're so lucky to have them. And actually, it was Les who suggested the place where we're going to be going for our anniversary dinner on Sunday. So I sent him a message tonight and I told him, he gave me a whole long list of places because we went out last night. I said, hey, what's kind of special and romantic? And he's lived here for a lot longer than I have. And he was able to give me a list of places. So we decided on a place. And so I sent him a message tonight and I said, this is where we picked. And he was like, oh, you're going to love it. And so, yeah, I'm telling you, the gun people, the gun community, it's not even just about guns, right? It's about the camaraderie, having that like mindset, and just being able to share all of those, I don't know, principles, I guess, with other people. So Brian's Custom Canvas says, Happy New Year, everyone. Night, JJ and J crew, early morning tomorrow. So it looks like Brian's Custom Canvas is off to bed. Wow, you guys are all a bunch of party poopers. I mean, I was planning a, good 4 or 5 hour marathon show here tonight. Mr. J is over here groaning. I don't think he agrees with that. No, that's not happening. I'm kidding. It's really not happening. We do have our whole weekend filled this weekend. We've got our slate full. So Affordable Armory is also going to bed soon. Oh, now he's got a good reason. He's teaching a class at 8:00 in the morning. So yes, you definitely don't want to stay up too late. Let's see. Dale Pogue says, I can do anything I want at my range. In the last 5 years, I've seen 2 other people. He says, and the range goes out to 285 yards. Well, that's a nice sized range, Dale. That's got to be refreshing to be able to shoot at a place like that. Oh, Critter. Critter's not a party pooper. Mr. J is chuckling over here too. Critter says, not me, I already pooped. Oh, Critter. Oh my gosh. Cowboy Jeff says he's been up for 42 hours. Cowboy Jeff, what have you been doing up for 42 hours? Are you out fighting a fire, or, what's going on this 42 hours thing? I don't understand. Dale Pogue says I should go for it. No. Jenny J has been up since 4 o'clock this morning. I'm gonna be going to bed very, very soon. Barry Ford wants to know best full size 45. Talk to me. Ooh. Best full size. Well, I mean, I am never, ever, ever gonna say that there's a better gun chambered in 45 than a 1911. That would always be my pick every time. Now, specifically, which 1911? There are so many. Geez. I mean, you can't ever go wrong with anything from Bull. It is not quite a full size, but I really love my Springfield Armory Champion. But that is chambered in 45. That is commander size. So, but it's definitely up there. You know, honestly, I don't know. I'm trying to think what other 45 I would like the best. I really love, I have my SIG 1911 in 45, and that's full size. I love that one. So, but yeah, I think any 1911 in 45. I have not found a 1911 in 45 that I haven't liked. So, and you know, maybe some of you guys out there have had 45s in 1911 style that you haven't liked, but I think you'd be hard pressed. ME, Wyoming here. My whole state is a range. Oh, yeah. And not only is it a whole great big shooting range, you can hunt elk there. So that's pretty good. So Mr. J gave me his list. Of course, well, yes, he says Dan Wesson. And SIG, which I mentioned, Ed Brown, Nighthawk, Wilson. Oh yeah, the Ruger. That's right. I did shoot that Ruger 1911 and 45. That was also commander size, but that was a great gun too. Very reliable, very straightforward, fun to shoot. So yeah, but again, 1911s. Can't go wrong. Cowboy Jeff 1911. Drink a 6-pack. You'll sleep very well after you pee. Oh my gosh. Critter. Oh geez. GGW Outdoors says it's only 8 p.m. at his house. Wow. So you must be further west. Okay. Yeah, it is. Oh, maybe you're in California, because I'm just thinking what's 2 hours behind me still, because it's 10 o'clock here now. So let's see. Dale Pogue says, I got the new 1911 Springfield Emissary in 45. Oh, that's cool. Have you gotten to shoot it yet, Dale? Because, you know, we have to have the review. Reese has been up since 4 a.m. and here he is. Hey, twinsies. Oh, Cowboy Jeff. Okay. So he explained. He says he flew home, landed in Minnesota, then had to plow 15 inches in his driveway, only to turn around and go to work. Got done, picked up kids, cleaned driveway again, and here we are. Oh my gosh. And Cowboy Jeff was here early. In fact, Cowboy Jeff was the first one here. So I'd say round of applause. Round of applause. I think everybody's doing this at home for you, Cowboy Jeff. Round of applause for you, because that right there is the president of the class of J. Crew. Just saying. Reese loves his Bull Armory in 45. Yep. I know. I'm telling you, the Bulls, they just keep getting better and better. And you should see some of the things on their website. Some of the things that are being offered right now. ME says Area 39 Bighorns. Oh, there you go. That'd be pretty cool. Oh, Cowboy Jeff meant 32 hours, not 42. It's all right. I'll forgive your math when you've been up that long. Let's see. Affordable Armory says if you have $3,000, Nighthawk all day. The Shootist is here. Good to see you. Yep, Cowboy Jeff is celebrating himself now. He says, yippee me. All right. Well, I know it's not the 2 hours that Cowboy Jeff always begs for, but we are so glad to be back in the saddle again. And, we will be back here on Tuesday. I don't want you guys to get burnt out on this, or the sound of this voice. So, I'll let you go to bed for now. But be back here Tuesday, okay? Tuesday, we'll have our live at 8 o'clock. The same bat time, same bat channel as usual. I will get that scheduled. So hopefully you guys will see the invitation for that or the announcement or whatever, however YouTube does it. And, make sure that you are here. Because if you're not here, then the party is just not the same. So anyway, it has been so great catching up with you guys. I hope you all are having a wonderful start to your new year. Happy 2023. And make sure you hit the like button on this video. Like, please. And make sure you tell your friends and family, like and subscribe. We're getting up there in our subscriber count. That was one of my scales. Right now, our subscribership stands at 3,123. So, we're getting there closer and closer every day to that 5,000 so we can have our 5,000 subscriber giveaway. Make sure you spread the word. All right. Okay. Thank you all for being here tonight, and sleep well, sweet dreams. And I look forward to talking to you all again soon. Good night.